Metro East Marshall.
Okay, so did you ever feel like you had to pick in between your parents? Like,
yes.
Tell us about that.
As we talk about parents being absent, at some point my dad was out of my life for 10 years, and my mom.
And then you had your mama gone too.
My mom was like in and out, going and out. Like I said, it was in the beginning of the video. If y'all seen, just go back to rewind. Like she had some problem issues going on, but when in the midst of my mom was trying to get healed, and back to that time, like I said, it was something going on. Told me my mom's side of the family, his family, that when my mom would try to get help, I think the name of the rehab was like Queen of Peace. And I can remember that day that I was picking my mother over my father.
Explain that situation right there.
I
really want her to talk about this because kids be feeling like they have to pick. Narrow for the East Side. Kids be feeling like they smell. Dogs be straightforward and they never do that till I got a dog. He stinks. So kids be feeling like they have to pick a parent, pick a side. So that's why I'm asking. Can you explain it?
He stinks.
I should have put him in this game. But, so I really want to break that down to where, because kids really do be feeling like they need to pick a side, and parents need to understand that part about their kids as well. Like kids be having their own battles and that be bothering them sometimes too. That's why they be acting out and stuff. So explain that, why you felt like you had to pick a parent. Explain the issue or what happened.
Well, I picked for two reasons. I picked my mom for like a few reasons. One, because my grandma was still. I was still texting my grandma, like.
But why you feel like you had to pick? What happened that you feel like you had to pick? What was the story?
Oh, I picked my mom because I was going. One reason I picked my mom because my grandma's on that side. I still have my brother on that side, and I still have two little sisters at the time on my mom's side. Then on my dad's side of the family, he was remarried. He was married, and I really did feel comfortable going to his house when I was young at that time. So even though I loved my dad when I was a little girl, me and my dad was close when I was a little girl, but at the time I wanted to be with my mom's side. The fact that he had some stuff going in his house that I wasn't comfortable with. And
that's what you was familiar with, more comfortable.
Yeah, I was more comfortable at my grandmother's house. So
what was the particular incident where you like, I'm picking my mom? Like, what you mean you had to pick parent? Like,
yeah, because they asked us when they asked like during that situation time, they asked us like, you want to go with your mom or you want to go with your dad? And I said I want to go with my mama. Okay. Yeah, that was. Even though my daddy was hurt, he was hurt. But I said most parents, they could say love you, but it was some stuff going on in my dad's house that I wasn't comfortable with.
So when did you and your dad become like close again, like rebuilding that relationship?
Now.
It's better than now. It's better than
it's better now because the fact that now
you can forgive and y'all older.
Yeah, and I understand his position. He got to learn how to forgive. I learned how to forgive, and the fact that I was never mad at my father because the fact that I was too young to know everything what happened. And to this day, I still don't know for sure. Like it's always hearsay. I can believe this person.
Because he got his position and everybody had their own position. Yeah. And so y'all building that relationship now. How y'all building that relationship now?
Talking, distance, and he had to realize. He came back, he had to realize I wasn't that 7-year-old girl when he first left.
I stopped talking when he was 7. Dang.
About since I was 7.
And then back at 16?
Yes.
Dang.
So imagine when I came back, I'm almost it was a young adult at that time, a young female adult. So I don't want no grown man touching me, all that hubby dubby, kiss. No, it's so bad.
Because you gotta rebuild that relationship. Yeah. So now y'all talk daily on the phone.
I won't say daily.
But y'all talk more.
Yeah, we talk.
And do you ever ask him like questions about like when he wasn't in your life and stuff like that, what he was doing?
I don't ask him. He always bring it up.
Do he? How he bring it? Like what's the conversation?
Because he be in his feelings.
What y'all be doing on the phone? Arguing or something? How you bring it up?
Who? He'll bring it up when he can't get something. Like what happened back then is stopping him a lot of goals that he's trying to get to in life now. And that I feel bad that one, I can't do anything about that. 2,
so you feel like he taking it out on you a little bit sometimes?
No. And sometimes when I first came back, he did because the fact that I have no control, he wanted me to pick sides. That's why they want you to pick sides again.
So never make your kids pick sides, people.
Because it's gonna go wrong. Man. I have my own mind, so it go from he want us to pick sides. I can't be mad at this side of the family or what this side, especially when I was 6 or 7.
Right, I was just like being a kid, man. That gotta pick like that'd be hard. Yeah.
All I can do is go out with the truth and what I told and what I believe in.
So that was my next question. How do these conversations? Because I know you said you and your mama, you didn't forgave your mama. Y'all have conversations all the time. Your mama doing good now. She healthy, where she is, and she living her life, her best life. So how do you have these conversations? How do you have these type of conversations with your mama? Like, want to know, let her know how you feel and stuff like that.
It came up like something that me and my mama and my siblings. We had a big discussion with her last year. Like I said, stuff don't never go away.
Was y'all yelling or was y'all sitting down actually talking and stuff?
It was more like talking and FaceTime. I think it was FaceTime.
Okay.
FaceTime for real. It was more of us talking, and stuff happened, situations happened with my other siblings, and we just flat out, we just tell her to this day how we really feel. Like, it's not always, that's one thing people understand, it's not always about materialistic things when you're trying to get your parents' attention. At some point, all your kid need is time and your presence. That's it. It ain't always, go buy me this, go buy me that, and all that. It's all sometimes just the time. Like, me and my siblings now, all we want from our mother, it's the time. Like, life is too short, especially since our grandma gone.
Right.
We understand the value. Like, when they heard, and that's pretty much what it's like.
But she giving you, but she way better than what she was. She giving you time. Y'all talking more. Y'all doing all that.
We can do talk more. It could be better. It could be a whole lot better. The time and presence. But
I don't think people understand that when kids young, the impact that they having right now, you got to make up for all that time when they get older. You got to play catch up. So I don't think they realizing that in the moment while they doing what they doing.
I don't think with her, my mom, I don't want her to play catch up. Even with my siblings. We can charge you what you doing now. Like, if you know you're doing wrong and your kids tell you multiple times what they want from you, and if you don't do it, at that time, like, they give up.
But have y'all ever thought about it like this? Because that person wasn't third in your life 24/7, that person don't actually know how to actually be a parent. They do, but not in the way that you need them. All they can do is just use the tools that they got at the moment.
Yeah, and that's why you can't fault for them from that.
Right.
You cannot fault for what they trying to do. You can't make them feel
long
guilty.
As they trying.
Yeah. And always the effort that count.
So appreciate that too. When a person grows from their old, because everybody got a past. Right. Everybody has a past, and if they learn from that past and they trying to grow, make sure you forget that person as long as they trying. That's all that matters is the try, the effort. And I also want to ask you too. You said your daddy had remarried and all of that. So during that time when you and your daddy was building, and your mama was around, how was that like having like another parent in your life that wasn't your mama, like a step parent? You don't got to answer that if you don't want to, but
it was.
Was it weird, uncomfortable?
Yeah. Like I said, his household sometimes I felt uncomfortable because the fact that when you got other kids, you do still sometimes feel like the outcast.
Cause you coming over temporary and them other kids staying there permanently. Right.
So
it's hard to connect.
That's not yours. Like you go in there, you basically go to like going to a hotel. That's not yours. That's temporary. You can use that. But versus me going home, like I said, I'd rather be at home because I'm not home. If I go in this room, and this room is mine. Ain't got to ask to play with this and that and touch that. Or like sometimes it's just your comfort zone.
Right,
like,
comfort zone. Yeah.
Like I felt comfortable if I go to my dad's house when I was younger. I was comfortable more when he was there because why? Like I said, I'd be under him more. But when he wasn't there, I was like, I was ready to go home.
Like, your daddy wasn't there. That was your comfort zone, and that's what you was there for. Was to spend time with your daddy. Yeah. So, let me see. So
she talking about me a lot, but this can go both ways.
I already know. I know it come. My daddy,
right? Like
he was absentee, yes, but me and his problem is I knew he could have been there more. Like, and I really don't talk about it for real because I don't think people will understand. And definitely, like, I never really talked about it like that because that side is his blood. So I don't think people will really understand where we was coming from then. But cause that's grandma's son, so I didn't feel like they would understand where his kids was coming. I knew he could have been more. Did you ever realize we over at grandma's house and why we not at his house? We at his mama's house, but not at his house.
True.
So that never made sense to me. It's like we at your mama house. Why you not coming to get us from your mama house to take you to your house?
Think kids don't think about these things.
Yeah,
And kids Was you thinking about it at that time?
Yeah, and
Like,
he used to be like, yo, mama putting stuff in your ear. No, I can see. I can watch. I'm smart. It's nothing that she's saying, because if she would be saying stuff to me, I wouldn't be at my grandma's house then. So, yeah, that's the problem I had. I know I had an absentee father, and he could have been there more. So, I used to lash at him all the time. Remember the family dinners and stuff? Boy, I used to be going off on him. I used to be mad, but I just realized.
You asked me the question earlier.
She trying to turn the interview around on me.
No, it's a simple the topic discussion. Mm-hmm. Like, you asked me, like you said, since he wasn't there, you respected your mother more than you respected him.
I just watch with my eyes, though. Yeah, like, of course I had my mama back because I watch with my eyes.
Not back, like, if she tell you, Chelsea, you can't do this right now, that.
My mama tell you, I ain't listen. I was bad. I ain't gonna even stunt. And the reason, like you said, I was bad because I didn't have that attention that I needed. And I'm just me. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do regardless. Period. That's just who I am. But that was one of the reasons why I was acting out too.
Listen to your kids. People start listening to your kids. Stop
when they acting out.
Right, because they acting out. They're acting out for a reason.
Yeah, it's a reason why they're acting out. Yeah, and people really have to pay attention to that and stop just thinking because they want to be bad and not. It's really a reason. So yeah, she turned around on me. Yes, I did have. You got any questions for me? Sure.
No, I was. You gotta keep the conversation going because the fact that it's not about interviewing me, even though it is about interviewing, but it's like getting more open to topic, getting more ideas to flow to someone.
And just to show y'all, like, it ain't just one person dealing with this. That's why we doing the video, really, because we want people to know. We putting ourselves out there to let y'all know that you're not the only one dealing with that. Not the only one. Yes, it's thousands of people out here dealing with absentee fathers, mothers, whoever, and that's just what it is. But we basically focusing on the parents' part.
And another thing, absentee is like, let it be a legitimate reason.
What's the legitimate reason to be absent?
That to me, you gotta be 6 feet under. That's like he passed away. Death is he's gone. Don't make a father absentee because you a bitter baby mother. That's one thing that hurt a child too. Yeah. That hurt a child. This child missing his other parent because of the fact that this parent not being an adult about a situation and putting the child in the middle of it. So the only reason is I feel that your parent should not be in your life is the fact that God called him home, something like that, or he in his sick bed.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all that holding the child, it got to be a legit reason, like as far as like you gonna put the child in harm and all of that. So yes, it's thousands of people out here dealing with that, and we just want y'all to know, to understand that.
Is it raining outside?
No, that's the narrow drink. Oh. Which one are you talking about?
It's not like it was straight raining. Yeah, I don't know what question is.
I wanted to ask you that moment that you noticed your mother growth and change and all of that.
In my eyes, personally, I believe it when my grandmother passed away.
And that was what, December 29th of 2009?
Yep. And that same year, within beginning to going into 2010, the fact that she had to take the responsibility now raising my two little sisters, the fact that your mother's not here to sponsor your kids anymore.
And not to interrupt you, I kind of want to rewind it back. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but this how close you was with our grandmother who raised you. You was there with her at the time that she passed away, right?
Yes.
So.
Yes, I was.
She was there at the time that she passed away.
That was a quick look. I could remember that day like it was
yesterday.
Like she was asleep. She was sleeping.
Yeah, watching Family Matters.
Watching Family Matters. Then my auntie called and was talking about the Young and the Restless. She maybe changed the channel for like 2 seconds. So once she woke up, they talked about the Young and the Restless. I looked at the clock. It was like 4:45. Then once she got off the phone with auntie, she just raised up. She did something at the dresser.
So the last person she talked to auntie on the phone
was Smith on the phone, I believe so. And my auntie Mame was upstairs at the time. When I tell you, I couldn't think Mame heard me even faster. Mame, it just came like that. Like Mame just, I don't think I heard her coming downstairs. She just entered the room because Grandma instantly, when she got off the phone, she raised up. She fell back. Mind you, I was with Grandma that whole day.
Right.
Because I was at my dad's house.
You was coming from college, right?
Yeah, so I was spending at my dad's house. Grandma called me that morning and said, hey, I need to run to Barnes. She wasn't feeling well. When she was at Barnes, they told her she had a touch of pneumonia. And after that, they still sent her home after they told her she had touch pneumonia. So we go back to the house. She called some people. She had to get some medicine and all that. And what's crazy, Shanti, I think, they ended up leaving at that time? Yeah, they ended up leaving.
So your sisters was there?
They left.
Well, they was and then they left.
Yeah, they was and they left. And then we was sitting there in the bed watching Family Matters. Then back to the company, she was at the dresser. She just fell back instantly.
On the floor?
No, to the bed. Cause remember her walking her door, her dresser right there.
The bed was over there.
I turned around and one string, I just called from May May. I called from Auntie May May, and I had 911 in the dial. Then y'all know when somebody tell y'all something over and over and over and over with something that she had these pills. And I promise you, we could not find them pills that day. Couldn't find them nowhere. So Mr. 911 still had doing CPR. I'm gonna believe to this day that she died at born. Cause when she was at home, she was still bleeding.
Y'all think you can say their name? Can you say their name?
I don't care. But I feel like she left at that hospital. But I feel like in my eyes, she was still breathing when she left the house and everything.
So that's how close she was with our grandmother. She was there that day when that happened.
Oh, that hurt me bad. I think it took me by my pastor that had to tell me something. It hurt me bad.
But did that incident show you like life is too short, forgive and all of that?
Yeah. Cause I couldn't go mad. I couldn't be mad at that point.
But that's when you seen that day after that. That's when you seen your mother grow. Yeah. Yeah, in maturity.
Yeah, maturity, and she took on the responsibility of her kids. That's something she had to do. I think. I didn't. Of course, you don't want your grandparents to go, but I think she knew
that had to happen for.
Yeah, it was time. Cause even when at church, prior to that, she had a testimony at church.
I remember that.
So yeah, I think she knew, and it was the time. It was just of her depending on was her kids ready.
And that was crazy that they had recorded that on their phone. The baby had recorded that on their mama's phone.
Not knowing
that was her last testimony in church.
So yeah, I felt like she knew. Then grandma always said she didn't never want to bury a child. She always said that.
Oh yeah.
She always said that. I felt like at that time she knew because a year later we lost my aunt. About 2 years later, we lost May May. So yeah, I think she knew at that time. I think she was waiting for her kids to get ready. Who was ready?
She died in 2009 and then May May died in 2011.
Yeah, and who had to be ready? Who was strong enough? I just wish she wouldn't pick me to be the one that happened that day.
To be with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at situations different than other people. I feel like because you was in college and you was actually there with her. Can you imagine getting that phone call in college and you wasn't at home? You just didn't want that vision in y'all. I know that was hard, but
that happened with me. I lost my damn mind.
But to me, to take her last breath with her first, the one that ever graduated from college, and you was already gone off to college.
Yeah, I didn't.
So how was you able to move from it then? Like move past it. The grieving part and stuff.
I left because I wanted to quit school that year. I felt like I didn't want to go back. I felt like I shouldn't go back. I got my two little sisters here. Why should I go back? Who gonna take care? That's all I was going on my mind. Who gonna take care of my two siblings now? Who gonna do this? Who gonna do that? Mind, I still had a big brother. My big brother, he had his own family. He had a wife. He had his own thing. And at first, it was a little rocky, but like I said, I kept going. And in fact, I told her I had to talk to my pastor, John Watson Sr. at the time. I was going to Maple Timber Church, God of Christ at the time. I was talking to him. And when I tell you, he took me back to school. Because the fact that I was getting into it with my parents again. I got into it with my father that week. Over some BS. At that point, like I said, you wasn't here in my life. So at this point, I don't give a damn
what you talking about.
I
lost the one that was close to me.
Right. I lost my actual parent. Y'all, of course, y'all two siblings put me together. But my actual parent is gone at this point. I got to with him. I ain't want to tell him, talk to him or nothing. He was talking to me about some stuff that totally irrelevant in my life right now. But we went to church that following, because grandma passed 4 days after Christmas. And I had to be in school, that following week in January for something, the New Year.
Right, that first week.
So it was so much me thinking about how I'm going to get back up there. I didn't have no car.
Did your grades slip that semester or anything, or everything was okay that semester? You was still good. That's good.
What's crazy, I don't know how. What's crazy, that's what pretty much what my grades didn't fall, shockingly. It's all depending on the talk. It was the talk I had with my pastor. Like, everybody need that talk in that conference. And if you believe in a higher power, you believe his words and what he told you was real, when he came into me. Like, I believe even with my first life, some people are that powerful, and people that bring messages.
That's why they call pastors and all that to speak. They speak through God, speak from God, through to you or whatever. But the way I was able to move on from that was she went to church every Sunday for a reason. Not only on Sundays, Wednesday. That's where she was trying to. Yeah, right. That's where she was trying to go. The longest member in the church. She cooked. She was the secretary. That's where she was trying to go. So that's why I was able to move forward with the passing of grandma. Like, I used to see everybody on Facebook dealing with it, like the family, and I see it every year, and it hurts me to see it though. And I just be like, that's where she wanted to go, y'all. We went to church. She used to take us to church. Like, it's like 12 grandkids with her. It's just like, that's where she was aiming to go. So that's how I was able to move on. And it was sad to see everybody still grieving on Facebook, which you always gonna grieve, but that's how I was able to move on from that.
But it's it's not a day go by that
you don't think about her.
Yeah.
So you got that time from your grandma. Your mama matured. She doing good. She taking care of herself. You and your daddy relationship is better. And you graduated from college. So everything happens for a reason. So even though it don't feel like it at the time, people, you want this time, you want this. Always remember your story is for a reason. It's going to help somebody else to move forward as well in life. Is there anything you want to say while we close out?
All I got to say is what we said at the beginning, how to talk about. If a child is acting up, find out why. Always find out, see what's going on with your kids. If you don't go through anything, you won't know anything. Your test and trial is get you further in life. So everything is not perfect. Your road is not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be some curves and all in between the roads.
Right.
So it's not
road
gonna be
bumps.
perfect.
It's gonna snow. It's gonna rain. It's just like a regular day in the world. Yeah.
And if you think you're doing too good, believe me, the devil gonna look into there to see what he can do to stop your path, to put a roadblock. So you just gotta try to progress, move on, and jump over.
What you say to them kids out there that's dealing with the absentee parent? What you want to tell them to keep them motivated and stay focused?
I would tell y'all, go find a role model. If your mother's not there, you always can find a mother figure or a father figure in someone.
And appreciate that person that's there taking their time to actually
that's trying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's trying. So yeah, that's another good thing. Another thing is somebody out there trying. Get them the opportunity to try to be there for you if that parent not there. And when that parent decided to come back to be in your life,
use open arms.
Take it with open arms. Don't go in with bitter. Forgiveness works wonderful.
And who taught you
forgiveness? You don't have to forgive. You don't have to forget the situation, but forgiveness is one thing.
Who taught you that forgiveness?
Tyler Perry, I ain't gonna lie.
Tyler Perry got the movies, boy. Tyler Perry ain't gonna lie. If you are going through something, go look at a Tyler Perry movie, a play. Tyler Perry, he out killing it for real. Like, I always want to be in one of his plays or something like that. I said any famous person I do want to meet. I do want to meet Tyler Perry. I want to be in one of his shows. Two of mine died already. So yeah, Tyler Perry, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. Oh yeah, everybody love Whitney. And your mama used to always remind me of Whitney Houston when I was a kid.
That's why I was a fan of Whitney Houston. And I'm still a fan of Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that was my mother favorite singer.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that. She looked like Whitney Houston to me when I was a kid. I used to always be like, that look like my auntie.
Right. I got actually a picture of what you were talking about too.
Look just like her.
When I showed you yesterday, that's one of the time she wore that red lipstick with her hair and the little curls.
Boy, like I said, I want to see my parents back in the day, boy. How they was.
I got my picture of my dad straight. He was like,
so you want to close it out?
Baby. I could try to find a picture. But yeah, thank you for having me on your show. I'm glad to be here. Remember, find me on Blase World on TikTok and Blase World.
Why you saying so long? Can't nobody hear you say that stuff. You say it with
pride. Make sure y'all follow me at Blase World on YouTube.
We closing out.
Yeah, we go.
We love you. Love your family. Oh, shit.
Hey, eat my snacks.